Okay, what is this? Our floor is done.
Hello and welcome back to the Finnish countryside. So we have indeed finished the kitchen floor, which I'm gonna show you in this video, but also a job in the bathroom that I've been dreading for weeks.
What do you think? Would you do something like this in your bathroom?
We have had a few sunny days here, right on time after the winter solstice. The skies turned from the endless grey to something that reminded me of a cool-toned watercolor painting. The days feel a little less daunting after the very long dark season, and the air is crisp. After a few hiccups, it now seems that the winter is here for good. In the last episode, we started to remove the paint on our kitchen floor, a decision that I felt very unsure of, but I thought that at least it won't do any harm, as we can always repaint the floor if we feel like it. But now, as we're halfway through this project, I feel content that removing the paint was the right decision. It brings warmth and softness into the kitchen area that I've been aiming for since the very beginning. To our surprise, the thicker the paint layer was, the easier it came off. Where the paint was thin or worn out, we were constantly balancing between burning the wood or not getting the paint soft enough to be able to scrape it off. I have to say that this speed heater has really paid itself off. I bought it when I was restoring our windows and couldn't get the hard putty off the windows. Never knew that it would be working overtime here on our kitchen floor. Hello, it's 26th of December. Christmas is officially over. We were at home for a couple of days just trying to relax and read a little and ate a lot. And I'm ready to get this floor done. I'm hoping this is the last day that we're gonna be spending scraping this floor. At least that is the goal we have. And after that we can move on to
other things for a while. Of course the floor needs to be sanded still, but right now I'm just looking forward to get the scraping done because... But it is such a beautiful day today, even though there's no snow. I'm enjoying the sun. We had a little tiny bit of like powder sugar snow on the ground on 24th, but after that it kind of disappeared.
As the snow was melting outside, again, we tackled the last bits of the paint. Even if our hands were aching and our backs were hurting, it's easier to push just a little bit longer the more you start to see the finish line. And look what kind of plastic wrap some of these floorboards were wrapped in. I feel like the kitchen floor will secretly take a very deep exhale tonight. So we did indeed get the job finished.
Okay, how wild is this? Our floor is done for the scraping part. I need to count how much time it took. It was less than I thought. I thought that we'd be here for 2 weeks straight scraping, not getting anywhere, but it was easier. I am glad that we did this. When we bought this place, these floorboards were here under some sort of like wooden boards or something. Already then there was 4 different types of floorboards, because in the middle of the floor there is this fun patch. It was grey like the rest of the floorboards, so we didn't realize that it's so different. I think we're gonna try to sand it to the bare wood and then stain it a bit so that it matches with the rest of the weird weird reddish wood that we have here in this room. It seems that these are the original boards, so these white ones, which is the crown jewel of this whole room, I think. These boards were a bit rotten on some parts. So here's the oldest floorboards, and here there's the newer floorboards that we patched up some holes with. I know this is a horrendous sight for some, but to me it's how perfect old houses look like in my mind. When I walk around, for example, in old towns, you can see the repairs they have done there, and there's all sorts of mismatched wood and stuff, so that's what I like. I'm getting out of breath. I'm trying to speak quickly because it's so cold. But yeah, so the floor is scraped. So I am pretty pleased with the floor. Of course, I would have liked it to come off a bit more evenly, but it's better than it was before, and for my liking. So yeah, I'm happy. Other than that, we have grouted the bathroom floor tiles, and this is something I was so scared of doing because grouting of the bathroom floor was a disaster. The pigment of the grout stuck to it like its life depends on it. It's not looking good. I can put a link to the video somewhere here. This time I came prepared. I read the instructions several times again, and I also did some tests at home to see how the grout reacts, and made a small patch of grout and just rubbed it in the tiles, and I left it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes and 15 minutes just to see how it comes off. The green tiles are crackled, so I was worried that the black grout might seep into the cracks and stain the cracks. After that, I was quite sure that this will be a bit easier. This time we had more water with us, so there's no running water here, so we had to bring it from home, and we were prepared for a lot of mess. The grouting itself was a bit difficult on the wall tiles because there's these trim tiles that have like a curvy profile, so I felt really unsure if I have enough of grout in between the tiles and if we're gonna get them cleaned. I had my husband here, and he was wiping the grout off after about 15 minutes after I had grouted the tiles. And at first I was like, this looks very similar to the floor tiles. Like, he was wiping the grout off and it seemed like it was just spreading around. Immediately when you dip the sponge into the water turned black. But these glazed tiles actually work like how I thought the floor tiles would work. So after we wiped the tiles once and let them dry for a while, the grey layer on top of the tiles came off with just rubbing with a towel. That was supposed to happen on the floor tiles too, but it didn't. I was like, okay, this is gonna work out. I can sleep tonight and it's all gonna be okay. So the grouting job itself, it's not perfect. I'm not very good at grouting. There is parts that I'm not proud of at all, and it pains me to look at them, but it's my second ever grouting job and I'm not a professional. I'm self-taught in all the possible ways that one can be self-taught. So I need to just pat myself on the back and say thanks for giving it a go. But I'm gonna take you quickly to the bathroom to show the tiles. So let's go! Let's get in quickly! It's actually warm here. Incredible. What do you think? This is the millennial squat, by the way. The thing I am most annoyed with is that these tiles here, they're not even meant for this purpose. I think they're meant for here in the corners. So I installed them too deep. I should have put more like mortar underneath them, and that caused the grout to be too big, in my opinion. I don't know why, but I just like look at small details, not to judge, but to like pay attention of something that is different than the rest. So I'm worried that whenever I come into this bathroom or take a shower, I'm just looking at those like. But there's nothing I can do about that now. So it's done. I survived. I know there's some who think this makes the room dark, and I totally get that. I like very light open rooms and areas too, but for this house we're aiming for the opposite. So I prefer moody and dark atmosphere over light and open in an old house. So there's of course a time and place for light and airy and white and grey, but this is not the house. Of course I can see the difference between a dark room and a light room, but for example in this room I just see colors. I don't think of this as dark or light. So what do you think? Would you do something like this in your bathroom? Do you see this as dark, or do you just see the colors? So I got a question from Marianne Fruberg. She was asking for a drawing of the house goals at the beginning of 2026 and how the floor plan is, and what's the next project, if there's a time frame or when we can move in. So we don't have a moving date, and we never will have a moving date again. That is because this house has come up with so many bad surprises that our plans of moving in we have already surpassed by 2 years or something. So I'm not gonna plan anything anymore. I'm just taking it like one task at a time and see where we end up. But we're getting closer. With everything we do here, we are one step closer to getting this into some sort of move-inable situation. Yeah, no moving date. The next project should have been to grout the mudroom floor, but I think we're not gonna do it yet because the temperature is getting so cold, and the only heating in this area is this one small radiator. So if there is, for example, a power cut when we have grouted the floor, the water in the grout might freeze, and that might cause damage on the tiles or on the grout, so I'm not willing to risk it. Another urgent task that we have coming up in January is to install the siding on this extension. So that will be definitely something that we need to do, because boards that we have here in this extension can be exposed to weather for about a year, and that's coming up soon. So that's definitely a January task. And after we kind of see how the heat stays here during the coldest days we can start to think about grouting. And here we are again. I was so sure that this winter I would be able to work indoors where it's warm, but about the floor plan, I'm gonna show it probably in the next video, because I thought that I'm gonna next do like a 1-year recap. So everything we have done in the past 12 months. And I even thought that maybe after that video I could do a 4-year recap. So from the very beginning, when I started to use a drill, to where we are now. So those 2 videos are something that I have been planning for a long time, but I just never felt like it was the right time. But now, as we are starting to work on the siding, and maybe things will slow down here a bit because of the weather, I thought it's a good time to do something like that. I'm gonna go home and edit this video, and hopefully I'll be able to get this out tomorrow, which is the 1st of January 2026. I am wishing you all a very happy 2026. I hope it will be so much better than 2025. This was not a good year. So fingers crossed for world peace and lots of good things happening to everybody. It's so nice to see how the yard kind of comes alive. Even though you cannot see things here, there's a lot going on.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon again.